I think food is such a personal thing. It's tied into your cultural identity and everything. It's your connection to your family. So I think we have to be vegan. I really do. I think we have to keep going and move towards vegan, but also know that it's going to be hard to untangle that relationship with food. And you have to find a positive way to do it, because if you're going to eat at least, 3 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day, it has to be enjoyable. It has to be nice. It can't be out of I'm giving this up, or I'm no longer going to eat one of my favorite things because it's cruel. You have to find a way to reframe it in a positive way. And I think that's the way to do veganism. But yeah, I really wish more people would talk about that link, because I think it's important.
I watched the PETA PSA that you did about kind of behind the scenes of animal testing. And it was so good. It was so spot on. You were so good in it. Yeah. Imagine that. You were a great actress. I mean, you were so playful and funny and fun loving. And you just, I wasn't, a lot of times when people press play on a PETA PSA, you're like, I was so engaged. I thought, I want to see what she's going to say next, or what's going to happen, or how they're going to describe
But your
this
timing
next.
was so good. Dotsie and I were timing. You truly are an excellent actress. I encourage anyone just to go see, because your timing is spot on with your reactions. So
yeah,
and it is
it's probably easy for people to Google. So this is obviously another area of animal issues that you feel really passionate about, animal testing. And we definitely want to go into talking about Kinder Beauty that you have with actress Daniela Monet. But what kind of brought you into this world? You do food. You recognize, okay, if I love them, it doesn't include eating them. So you go from there. And then when did you and why did you start kind of going down that road of understanding what happens behind closed doors for vanity? Really, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, it's definitely been a journey. Before I get into that, I would recommend, if any of your listeners haven't, if they don't really know about animal testing, to read a book called Free the Animals by Ingrid Newkirk. Oh God, it was a very hard-hitting. We actually read it over the summer in the Chick Peeps, my podcast. We have a book club, and I'd always thought factory farming was the worst, the biggest scourge on earth. And it really is. To me, it kind of is hell on earth. But I really actually think animal testing is worse. I think actually those animals are just in such abject suffering and misery every day. And they're so lonely and isolated. And they're in these cages. And I won't go on. I'm sure your listeners are aware. But yeah, I think it's a really horrible issue. And it's kind of dismissed. It's not, because it's convenient to. And I found, so when I went vegan, obviously you go vegan with everything. You do your food and your wardrobe and your makeup. And I was really into beauty. I love beauty. I think it's such a lovely thing. I think it brings joy to people's lives. And it's something as a woman that I like decorating myself or doing myself up. It kind of is a self-love practice. And to me, animal testing is just so the opposite of beauty. And it's a horrible reality we live in, that those two worlds have collided, that most, mainstream beauty brands rely on animal testing to get their products out there. And I think I just have noticed, everyone with food, it's one thing. People will be like, and I want my meat, or I don't have that connection with animals. But with beauty, I think everyone's like, yeah, animal testing is horrific. It's almost unanimous agreement. I don't think there's anyone who's like, no, you know what? I feel better when my lipstick is just, tested on these cowering little bunnies in cages. So I noticed that, there's this discordancy between what people believe and what they want to do and what they actually do. That they'll say, I want to be cruelty-free, but then they want something like a toothpaste or a conditioner or whatever, and they run down to the shop. And if they want to be cruelty-free, they basically have to have a physics degree and really understand things on a deep level. They have to get really nerdy about it. So I think I got really passionate about it then, of like, we have to make this easy. We have to because everyone, we already have them agreeing with us that animal testing is wrong and it's archaic and it actually isn't very scientific. It's not applicable science. So we just need to make it easy and make it seem as fun and beautiful as, unfortunately, the mainstream beauty industry have done a job on with, products that have been tested on animals. it really is the best marketing in the world, that they bring you these fabulous, shiny, glowing products that seem to epitomize luxury and, I don't know, just living the good life. And at the end of it, there's a vulnerable animal who nobody knows, who nobody loves, and they're suffering for it. So that's why I got really passionate about it. And I just think we can, if we just make it easy for people, they will go cruelty free.
Hey folks. Okay. Back by very popular demand is our plant-powered plate fridge magnet, which you are going to receive for free if you leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. So here are the details. Just write your quick review. Does not need to be long, does not need to be a whole story. Just be honest and speak from the heart. Then take a quick screenshot of the review you wrote and email it to us at podcast@switchforgood.org. That's podcast@switchforgood.org. And include your mailing address so we can send you a power plate. We are doing this because the more reviews we garner, the higher we go in search results, which means more folks will learn about our podcast. So the power is in your hands. Leave us a review and zoom, your power plate arrives at your doorstep.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info. And you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.